Hello, this is a comedy podcast brought to you by the stand-up comedian Lovdev Barpega. Welcome to a crazy little thing called Lovdev, where he delves into Reddit and all other unusual things that go on in the world. There's so much to unpack in this episode. Hope you enjoy. It's 176. Toebo Baggins. Welcome back to another episode where I get the chance to record a podcast episode as my builders have not turned up today at the moment. They probably will be here later. There are a few dramas that I do need to tell you all about. I mean, I've had a week off from work. I've had no incidents. I've had a good rest. But in that week of rest, I have had some slips and falls. Believe it or not. Yeah, believe it. I've injured myself, guys. More than once. I know. But before I tell you about what happened, you're not going to believe. You're going to think Lovdev is an absolute hazard. He's a hazard to himself. He's a hazard to society. Why is this guy even living? But I will tell you all about that in a bit. First of all, what a bloody warm day or week we've had. It's been nice. It's been good. You know what I mean? My builders have been in. They've plastered some of the walls. And now most of them are dry. This is the bedrooms I'm talking about. But we are still living downstairs like we're on a holiday camping trip to Pontins. I don't even need to go on holiday, honestly. Actually, we have booked a holiday to Morocco, and now I'm thinking, I shouldn't have really booked this holiday. I haven't got the money for it. Well, I have, because I've paid it all now. I mean, I've got spending money to raise, but that's very minor and small. I mean, that money I spent on holiday, which I'm going to go away on, but I'm not going to regret it while I'm there. Could have used it towards the house, really. There's other things we need to do. Once the house is all done, obviously I've got to get a painter and decorator in, because I'm not doing it. It's not that I can't do it. I just don't want to mess it up. So I'd rather get a professional in, let him do the job, or her. Not going to be sexist. Let them do the job. And that's it. And then I can just sit and relax. And it gives somebody money. Do you know what I mean? Oh, talking about money and getting things done, I did something to my car. If you don't drive, you're going to find this bit boring. I got a diesel car, and I keep getting this light on my car. It's a DPF. Don't ask me what it means. But I'm going to tell you anyway. It stands for Diesel Particulate Filter, which basically it kind of stops all the soot and the dirt coming from the diesel going into the atmosphere to help the emissions, the environment. So my DPF light kept coming on my car because it's a diesel, obviously, and it's a sports car. I thought, right, I need to get this sorted because I had to get my wife's car tyre done the other day because it keeps going down and it was annoying. Filling it once a week, I just can't be asked to do that. Asked the bloke in the tyre place about my car, and he said, you better get it sorted, mate, because it messes up with your turbo and it can cause other problems with your engine as well. I thought, right then, I'm just going to call somebody local. So I called a bloke over whose name's Mike, and he's based round the corner from my house, DPF cleaner. He's a lovely chap, he was, Mike. He came over, he came early, did the job, took him about an hour and a half, 2 hours to do it, cleaned it all out, and he said there's nothing wrong with your DPF, it's your sensor. I thought, oh, that explains a lot. Because when I'm driving sometimes in the night, for some weird reason, my headlights will start flickering. So it looks like I'm flashing oncoming traffic. And they're flashing me back. I've had people flash me sometimes. I can't see my lights flickering, but I've seen people flashing me. And I'm thinking, oh, God, what is it? Is it my beams are too high or what's going on? Anyway, I saw, hopefully that's connected with this thing. So I'm going to get my sensor sorted on my car. But I just wanted to give this chap Mike a big shout out. He's making good money, man. I was thinking I should do this job. I just need to find out how you clean a DPF, get the equipment. It's going to cost me a couple of grand, I reckon. And then, no, I'll make it back within a year. I'll make the money back. Because he told me he's so busy, he rejects jobs. Because he's based in Birmingham. He's had people call him from far as Nottingham, Redditch, South, near London. And he's like, I can't be arsed to go all the way down there. So he just sticks with the Midlands. That's how busy he is. So if you have got a diesel car, I highly recommend that you get your DPF light sorted. Or just get it cleaned anyway. If it's not even on, it makes such a big difference. I'm telling you. I feel like I've got a brand new car again. Honestly, when I put my foot down on the car, it moves. I'm like, what? Whoa. It's like my car saying, where have you been, mate? I can't believe you left me this long and now I'm back. You don't need to sell me. He's right, honestly. But I don't need to sell my car. Do you remember I wanted to buy a new car? I'm going to tell you now, in all honesty, I'm not going to buy a new car now. I'm just going to run this one to the ground. But he doesn't want to go down. That's the problem. He's a fighter. He's an absolute fighter. Enough about me DPF light. Let's do a quick thingalamajing.
Confessions the church, red is the priest, a click to cleanse or fuel the beast.
Let's do a confession. Before I do my confession, although I don't have a you'll know all about it in a minute. I'm surprised I didn't press the next theme tune on my phone because of my sausage fingers. But there will be a reason. If you hear that, if you hear a little jingle coming in by accident, there is a reason behind it, which I'm going to tell you all about. Anyway, let's get back down to confessions. This one has been put up by somebody called Yellow Super Tip. Now, his confession is, I had a Hobbit-themed birthday. That's not too bad, is it? Hobbit-themed birthday. Sounds absolutely lovely. But it doesn't end there. It says, I had a Hobbit-themed birthday so I could see people's feet. What? He's had a Hobbit-themed birthday just so he can see people's feet. There's got to be a reason behind this. Either he's got a foot fetish or he just likes hobbits' feet. Let's find out. Recently watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy and loved it, says Yellow Super Tip. Great movies. My birthday was coming up, so I told my girlfriend a Shire birthday would be fun. Meaning everybody dresses up like a hobbit. I do like the aesthetics and vibe, but truly the main reason was the idea of seeing our mutual friends' bare feet. A couple people wore socks, but most didn't. So they knew. The ones who were wearing socks knew that you had a foot fetish, mate. That's what it was. And they were like, nah, this guy's a bit... What? I don't want to show my feet. I hope you'd done it in the summer, because that would have made a lot more sense. If you did the... I don't know when your birthday is, because it doesn't say. Happy birthday for whenever that was. One drew hair on her feet. Somebody drew hair on her feet. That's brilliant. She went all the way. And he says he didn't care about it, but he still appreciated that they put the effort in. And he saw a lot of beautiful feet. It's a good thing you haven't seen my wife's feet. She's got amazing feet. I'm not a foot person. Don't think, oh, Lovdev's into this. That's why he's chose this confession. Feet doesn't... I can't... I'm not against it or I don't love it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a foot person. I'm a different type of person. I'll let you guys figure it out. It's the two natural parts of a woman. That's hilarious. Let's get back to the podcast. You said this was a few months ago. So a few months ago, I'm going to guess it was around winter time. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. So who knows? Anyway, someone has put down, now that's a confession. That is a confession. Thank you for sharing your confession, Yellow Super Tip, that you'd had a Hobbit-themed birthday just so you could see people's feet. I'm just thinking now, if I was going to have a birthday-themed party just because of something that I like to see, I think it would probably be like an Ann Summers. I don't know if you guys have Ann Summers, but yeah, probably something like that. A lingerie. What do you call them nights? Like a burlesque thing, innit? That's what I would have. Oh, God, what a mad confession that is. I feel like... There you go. You see? I just pressed another one without even realising what I did. Now I feel like I can give my confession. It's not really a confession. It's just stuff I've done over the week. I will tell you about my gigs. Not all of you not bothered about my gigs. I've done well. I've done so many gigs since I last spoke to you guys. But I need to tell you something that happened to me quite recently. So on the last day of my work, not that I've left, I had a week off. Not my doings. The family wanted a break from us. That's absolutely fine. I was going to work somewhere else, and then I thought, do you know what? Nah, I'm actually going to take a week off. Although, obviously, I've got my holiday coming up. But sometimes you just need to have a rest. And in my job, we don't get holidays. We work almost, 360 days a year. Easy. Probably 350 if you want to call it, with your sick and whatever. But we work a lot. We don't have holidays. Holidays are for us, and we've got to pay for it. We don't get paid for our holidays where I work. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say, which is why a lot of us just continually work, and it's quite draining, mentally and physically. So on my last day, on the Friday, after work, I went to the gym, and I was training my legs, and I did back and I did my legs. That's what I usually do together. The next day, I started getting a cramp in my knee. And I was thinking, oh, God, I've pushed too much on the legs, when you do... I don't even know what the machine's called. It's the one where you push the weights up and down with your feet. I was doing that. And normally, I'm all right doing that, do you know what I mean? But this time, now I just took a toll on my body. So my knee was hurting for about 2 days. I thought I injured it. But then I could bend it slightly, but every time I moved it, it hurt. And I thought, maybe it was the position I was in. I wasn't doing the exercise properly. God knows. But listen to this. That's not even the worst one. So once that healed up, yesterday, my builders, because obviously they're building a loft room, they finally put the staircase on, which means I can go up and investigate or have a look. So when they left, me and my missus, we went upstairs just to have a look at the loft room, see what they've done. And what happened to me? Now, it's a very unfortunate accident. I mean, I'm quite lucky, to be honest. I could have been a lot worse. Although, I'm not 100%, but what happened was half of the room upstairs was boarded. And some of the sections wasn't boarded yet. So you could literally... There was... What do you call them things? The bars, like the wooden bars that... I don't know what you call them. You know what I'm on about. Where the gaps are, and then you put your plasterboard on top. Not your plasterboard, your thingy-majig. Just ignore me. Basically, what happened was I missed a step, and my foot went through the roof, literally. My foot went through the ceiling, and I slipped. Luckily, I caught myself on the wooden bars, and I stopped myself from falling. I mean, I don't think I would have fallen through the gap because it was quite tight, but it was big enough for me to fit a foot through. And unfortunately, as I fell down, because it was so instant, I tried to grab onto the wood, and with my body weight, because I'm big, I wouldn't say I'm fat, but I think I am fat. I tried to catch hold of the wood to stop myself from hurting myself even more. And yeah, I was in pain. I was in agony. Oh my God, my hands hurting now. Yesterday was a lot worse. And the worst thing was, I was like, I've got a gig tonight. I've got to get down to Chippenham, which is near Bath, Bristol, if you're wondering where that is. I've got a gig. That's the first thing I was thinking in my head. I didn't think, oh, I could have died. I could have fell through that gap and then it landed on the bedroom floor. Or I could have gone through the bedroom floor as well with my weight. I'm an absolute hazard. Now, the worst thing is, the guys, they boarded it. Luckily, they only plasterboarded it. So they haven't actually skimmed the ceiling for the room below it. So when they haven't come yet, but when they come in, they're going to be like, oh, God, what the hell you been doing, man? So, so that basically happened to me yesterday. And I feel like, oh, I'm just a hazard, innit? It doesn't matter if I'm at work, if I'm at home. I'm always injuring myself, which is an absolute... That was my confession that I wanted to tell you guys. It's not really a confession, but it was something that has happened to me this week. Let's find out something else that's very interesting. Yeah, we are going to do this one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Not that little music because of my sausage injured fingers, but this thing happened on October the 31st in 1969. Some of you are like, October the 31st? That's Halloween. Yes, and a tragic incident happened in 1969 on the Halloween day. It was the disappearance of two girls, Patricia Spencer and Pamela Hobby. They were both teenagers from Michigan, aged around 17 years old. Patricia was known as Patty, and then there was a 15-year-old called Pam. Pat and Pam, basically. They walked away from their high school, seemingly just like a pair of friends heading out on Halloween. But this would be the last time anybody saw them. More than a century later, their disappearance remains of Michigan's most enduring unsolved mystery. So who were these girls? Patty Spencer was described as quiet, responsible, and shy. She had light brown hair, wore glasses, and was known to avoid trouble. She came from a very stable home and wasn't considered as a risk taker. Pam, on the other hand, was probably the opposite by the sounds of it, was outgoing, a bit more social, a bit more rebellious. She had dark brown hair, known to push boundaries a bit more than Patty. However, Pam just recently started dating somebody new and reportedly turned a corner in her behaviour, showing signs of maturing and settling down. Though the two girls didn't have a particularly close friendship prior to that day, they were seen leaving school together. That's strange, isn't it? Something that caught attention of those who knew them. It was half a day at a Skoda school due to Halloween festivities, and neither of them attended afternoon classes. So around midday on Halloween, Pam and Patty were last seen walking down a river road away from the school. Rumours swirled almost immediately. Some said the girls were headed to a Halloween party. Others speculated they were hitchhiking to Flint, which is in Michigan, about 150 miles away, to visit a friend or seek adventure. Neither girl had packed up belongings, took any money, clothes, personal items. They both left things behind that they would have needed. So like their purses, school books, and Patty's case and her glasses. I mean, she needed them to obviously see. She can't see without them. Her family said it made no sense that they would have ran away. So Pam's mother reported missing the same evening when she didn't come home, and Pat's family also did the same. But in 1969, the law enforcement didn't immediately treat it as foul play. With the rise of youth culture and anti-established sentiment at the time, it was common for missing teens to be running away. By the time police began taking the case seriously, valuable time was already lost back then in 1969. So there are theories around what happened to them. The first one is, early on, authorities thought that Pam and Patty ran away, but this theory lost its credibility very fast because of them not having any money, contact or sightings or any personal items with them. Did they get abducted? Who knows? As time passed, there was no trace. The abduction theory gained weight. Some believe the girls have been picked up by somebody they knew or trusted. Was it the new boyfriend of one of the girls who I forgot? The rebel one. Serial killer connections. Is there a serial killer connection? Over the years, investigators looked at possible connection known killers. There was John Norman Collins. He was called the co-ed killer. He operated in Michigan around the same time, but there's no direct links. Another one mentioned Edwards. He was a serial killer known for crimes that spanned decades and involved manipulation and luring. So maybe the rebel one got them. Who knows? Wouldn't it be weird if one of the girls got killed by one serial killer and the other one got killed by a different one? I don't know why I'm laughing, but you never know. In recent years, Michigan police have reopened the case and now encouraging advancements in forensic technology and renewed public interest in cold cases. Investigators have conducted digs in suspected areas based on tips and rumours involving one with a wooded area where the girls were apparently seen getting into a blue car. In 2013, authorities revealed a person of interest who had been interviewed multiple times, but they stopped short of naming anybody. There were whispers that this individual confessed to someone years ago, but later recanted. Despite these developments, no arrests have been made. There has been no physical evidence since the unsolved mystery. More than 50 years later, the image of two girls walking away from school on a cool afternoon still haunts the town of Oscoda. Halloween's a day of masks and mischiefs, but this one took a more darker, permanent meaning for the Spencer and Hobley family. Until someone speaks or something is found, Pat and Pam remain part of Michigan's long, cold silence. What a tragic story. Who knows what's happened to them girls? It's mad how they don't know where they've gone. They've just disappeared out of the blue. I'm not going to end the podcast with a really tragic news like that, although it was an interesting story. This next bit I'm doing will hopefully cheer you all up. It's been put up by somebody called Ice Home on Ask the UK forum. He just wants to know, or they, or he, or she, I don't know what gender they are, what's a joke you physically can't tell without cracking up? My one, I've said it a few times on this podcast, is by a comedian called Stephen Wright, who's a one-liner comic based in the US. His joke is, there's a thin line between fishing and standing on the shore like an idiot. That joke is just brilliant for me, and that's one of my favourites. And if I do say it out, I always laugh, but obviously I'm not laughing now because I'm too busy looking at Ice Holmes' question. Here is Ice Holmes' joke that he can't tell without cracking up. A bloke's chilling at home. There's a knock at the door. Opens it, there's a snail. Picks it up and lobs it across the garden. 3 years later, knock knock, same snail's back, looks him dead in the eye and goes, "Oi, What the was that about? And since I'm already crying, here's another one that kills me. A family walks into a hotel. Dad says to the receptionist, I assume the naughty channel is disabled. The receptionist goes, nah, mate, it's just a naughty, normal, you weirdo. Oh, I get it. You're saying that it's a disabled... Right, I get it, yeah. Go on then, pop yours down here. What's one joke that you absolutely finished every time? No judgment, just laughs. Okay, let's have a look. I'm not going to read who's put them up, but we'll read some of the jokes. What's made of brass and sounds like Tom Jones? Trombones. Wee. Doctor, doctor, I can't stop singing the green, green grass of home. You've got Tom Jonitis. Is it common? Well, it's not unusual. That's good. I like that. And here's the last one. A dyslexic man walks into a bra. I like that. That's quick. Yeah, I like that. I like the short and quick jokes rather than the long ones, you know. There was a man, there was a dog. Oh, that's just too long for me. I switch off halfway. I don't know about you guys. It's time for the weird news. Beekeeper unleashed a swarm of bees on the police during a traffic stop. This was a routine seatbelt stop turned into an insect ambush when a 70-year-old beekeeper in Sevilla, Spain, allegedly sist his bees onto two traffic officers. The incident happened just after 1 o'clock on Friday on the highway in the Catalonian town. Police say they pulled over a van for erratic driving and noticed the man behind the wheel wasn't wearing a seatbelt, but they didn't expect what the driver responded with. He said, I should have run you over. Before refusing a second breathalyzer test and threatening to kill them, then came the bees. According to multiple sources, the man walked calmly back to his van, opened the door, and released a swarm of honeybees directly at the officers. The insects attacked immediately, stinging both the cops and forcing them to seek shelter in a nearby restaurant. Restaurant patrons reportedly stepped in to help, guiding the officers to safety while the bees buzzed through the entrance. The man fled the scene, but he didn't get far. Police tracked him down shortly after, arrested him, took his statement, released him on bail within a few hours. Both officers were taken to an urgent care centre and treated with cortisone for their stings. No one else was injured. This week, the local newspaper reported the man may have been judicially acquitted of an assault, though the information hasn't officially been confirmed. The bizarre bee attack comes at a tense time for Catalonia's police force. In May, over 300 Mosso de Esquadra officers railed in Lleida to protest what they call an epidemic of violence against cops. They claim that in just the first month of 2024, there was 223 assaults. Wow. For all of last year, that number hit 2,500. The Interior Minister, Nuria Parlon, said her office plans to strengthen the legal protection for officers is currently being moved forward. So far, there's been no official word on what happened to the bees, but if anyone's looking for the wildest use of a natural weapon, this is it. You don't need dogs, just get a swarm of bees. That was today's podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully, I get to record one next week, but I can never predict it. Have a lovely week. It's going to be hot in the UK. If you're here, make sure you drink plenty of fluids and get loads of sun cream on your body.